Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting Sunday evening here at UltimateE, where we bring you UltimateE and M Sport bring you the Battle of the Stars. This is round 4, the ending of our penultimate 4-day series, where we've had the GTE class and the GT3 class battle it through 3 hectic circuits: the Nürburgring, Spa, Okayama, and we're here today at Alton Park for the 4th and final round of the championships. Have not gotten closer. It's absolutely wide open right now. I'm Anjan Ashwat and I'm joined by Arman Ibrahim. Arman, welcome. It's good to have you back here again.
Thanks, Anjan. Talk about things going all over the place, really. But that's technology, right? But we're here today. We're here for the final round. We're here to see who's going to get crowned the champion in both the in Tier 1 and Tier 2 categories, since both are wide open. We've had internet issues, we've had all sorts of issues, but I think most of the guys have managed to make it, and qualifying is underway. So the show must go on, I guess, and somehow or the other we figured ourselves out, don't we?
Absolutely, we always do, don't we, to figure something out. It's been that's been the theme: figure it out and get the show going. The show always goes on at the end of the day, and so we have. But where we are here today, ladies and gentlemen, just going to bring you straight back into this. We're at UltimateE and M Sports Battle of the Stars, where we're going from the sim racing world, the virtual world, to the real racing world. And the winners today of the championship in the Tier 1 and Tier 2 categories get to take part in a weekend of Formula LGB, the X30 Karting Championships, Racing Academies, and the Karting Academy as well. So it's great to see M Sport bringing this entire program through, where we're going to see these guys actually graduate now from the virtual world into the real racing world. And that, Arman, I think has been the key this weekend, because the battles that we've seen the last 3 days, the kind of talent that's come out, people like Sai Prithvi, Sai Sanjay giving Amit Kutia a run for his money. And in the GT3 class, we have Sabarno Majumdar, who we haven't seen much of him in the UltimateE series, who's now leading that championship as well, along with Akunuri, Abhilash, Aditya Iyer, all these guys been brilliant over the last 3 days.
Yeah, definitely, Anjan. Sai Sanjay, right from the start, right when UltimateE started running events, has always been a front runner. And him and Amit have always been the guys who set the standards as such. Amongst the other very well-known drivers that we've had along with us, in terms of like Naren Karthikeyan, Arjun Maini, Kush Maini, and Mohammad Ibrahim, and people from and so on. So these guys have always been up there and about, but the difference is that the others have already raced cars and at a very high level and continue to do so. And so is Sai. Actually, Sai is very accomplished in the domestic racing circuit as well. And then you have Amit now who's trying to break into that barrier, and then you have all the others who are there, who are trying to fight for you. Sai Prithvi, you have Sai Saran, you have a lot of guys who are there. Sohail, obviously, again, who's a national champion, who's been around, and he's still fighting it out here. In the GTE class, that is, and then you have the GT3 class, where you have a lot of up-and-coming newcomers who have been battling it out and providing us with some great racing, and really competitive spirit, even off the track, where they're just pushing for each and everything, giving us a very hard time. But that's what we want to see, that drama, that sense of things getting heated up, and that's exactly what we want, because that shows how passionate these guys are. A lot of people might think it's just a game. People are sitting at home playing on the console, but the end result, it's basically you're still having to drive this car, you're still having to set up the car and beat your competition. And that's what motorsport is all about, trying to eke out the best out of every corner and every circuit.
But you being a racing driver yourself know exactly how hard it is to do that, and being consistent across this series is one thing that we've seen. And someone like Sai Prithvi, who's taken the win to the last 2 days, has been supremely consistent in this. Sai Sanjay, sorry, I keep using the Sais that were around. Sai Sanjay, that has been supremely consistent over the last couple of days. But of course, if you look at the championship standings, he's a mile ahead with 67 points right now, and Amit Kuti with 42 points behind him. So he's got a good buffer there. But the GT3 class, Arman, this is where it's super tight and super close. And this is what I'm really looking forward to see, because between Subarno Majumdar, Aditya Iyer, and Rohit Raut, there's 7 points, 27, 20, and 20, and that's all to play for these guys today.
Definitely. There is an additional point that both the categories get for the fastest lap. So there's 26 points to grab.
Yep.
So it's all to play for. It's all to play for here. No one can afford to have a DNF or a mistake, or they just got to keep their nose clean, keep their head together, and this is where maturity really comes into play, because especially for the championship contenders who guys from the back who just found their stride, have nothing to lose, so they're going to go all guns out. But the guys in the lead, they got to think about completing this. They worked so hard over the last 3 days, but now they just got to look forward to just finishing that mission and keeping their head together, because you could so easily get caught up in something and then throw it all away.
Yep. Yeah, because now we've got 1 minute left for qualifying in this quick 10-minute qualifying session, and once again, Sai Sanjay, Amit Kuti, 500s in it between the two of them, and almost a second behind them is Sai Prithvi, the usual suspects, back in the top 3, Arman, once again, with Soul Shah right behind them as well. So he's once again Soul Shah, the ever opportunistic Soul Shah, always in the mix over there. But in the GT3 class, Surya Prakash once again looks like he's making moves up and down the order, because he seems to be in second place, as Aditya Iyer in first place, and Avinash Gupta then in third place, and Sabarna Majumdar right now half a second behind them. So right now, Arman, if you look at the top 4 within the GT3 class, is absolutely nothing in it, as with 30 seconds left towards qualifying. But right now, I think heading the pack now, Sai Sanjay laying down the gauntlet as he goes along. Amit Kuti, he's got a purple in that third sector. I wonder if he's going to be able to make this lap count, because all he's got. There's nothing in it, Arman, between these two. Because I think he's got a little bit wide there, a little bit of a mistake that he's made down in the second last corner almost. But Amit Kuti, I don't think he's going to make up too much time on this lap as we go through. Now, but now we got, I think now qualifying's just about come to an end, Arman, at this point in time. And Sai Sanjay looks like he has done just about enough now, 5/10 ahead of Amit Kuti to take pole in the GTE class at this point in time. There we go, Sai Sanjay leading the class, Amit Kuti second place.
0.053, 0.053.
5/10, Arman. So I was saying 5/10, absolutely nothing. 500, sorry. 500 is absolutely nothing here between these two guys, and Sai Prithvi there, about almost a second down off the pace. But again, Arman, going into that first corner on the Sultan track, they never say never, because on this rolling start, there's everything to play for. But the way Sai Sanjay has been controlling this pack, been absolutely brilliant so far.
Definitely. I mean, starting off with GTEs, again, these two, they've forever to get stuck together with the lap time. Yeah. And Sai Sanjay just pipping Amit again for the third time in a row. And Sai Sanjay in third there, but quite a few, quite a distance away. And then you have Soul Shah again. But remember, these guys come strong in the race. They're looking at the long game. They come strong in the race. The same in the GT3 class as well. In the GT3 class, we've got Aditya Iyer, who's made a comeback now to pole position, to claim pole position, because he's still in the fight for it.
Nothing in it, Arman. The top 4. There's what, 3/10 between the top 4.
Yeah, but then you got Surya in second, who's a 10th behind him, and then Sabarno was another 10th. But remember, Sabarno is always really strong in the races. But the tier 2 category is really impressive. You got the top 3 within 1/10 of a second of each other, and then you got Avinash Gupta was only 3/10 away. And on a track like Oulton Park, because it's a typical British circuit. It's fast, it's flowing. There's no room for error. There's no tarmac runoffs or any of that stuff going around. You've got undulations. You've got and also you've got tight chicanes. So there's really no room for mistakes. But you got to be on it completely to eke out the best of the cars. So a lot of commitment there. But we're going to see who really keeps it together in the race, because it's so easy to make a mistake, as we've seen. And as we start the rolling start,
there we go, the rolling start. Just as you finished off the cars, the safety car leads them away. And Sai Sanjay now is going to lead these guys away. At the safety car will peel into the pit lane, and then he will blast past the start finish straight, hopefully keeping it all clean with the guys behind him, Amit Kuti and co. But at the same point in time, Arman, with around the wind, the light will go green and around the final bend of this corner. But there we go. I think Sai Sanjay now leading them away on this first lap of this race at Oulton Park at this point in time. It's been
we have sorry, I think we lost Anjan there, but we have Sai Sanjay in the lead here, coming down, and I think that looks like a safety car there. I think that looks like a safety car there because of that incident. There's a lot of drama going on.
I think I'm back now. Sorry, my Discord just went for a little bit of a toss at this point in time. But a little safety car has been deployed at this point in time. Besides Sanjay similarly, Ramit Kuti in second place. I wonder what happened there in the front. Who got taken out in the start?
Sorry guys, I'm back, and
Yeah, I think
we've got safety car going on now.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of an issue there between both our Discords at this point in time. But Arman, yeah, I think if you can hear me now, I'm back as well. So safety car out again in this 30-lap race. So safety car will lead them around for a couple of laps. I think 3 laps. Ideally, he will lead them around, and when he does come back in, we will go racing. But I'm trying to figure out who else missed that we missed, or the mess that we missed rather. Who got whacked there? Because I can see Abhinav Gupta is out. Akunuri Abhinav, Amit and Sai got into a little bit of a Sai Saran's down there as well. Dylan Zachary has moved up in the GT3 categories. Aditya Iyer now has moved up as well. Sohel Shah was in the podium places. So a lot's changed in the last minute or so, Arman.
Oh, definitely, Anjan. I mean, we knew there was going to be chaos and that everyone played that card basically. But nevertheless, I think the race did a great job in getting safety out immediately. Oh, and there's been an incident under safety car.
Yeah. That's a replay. That's the replay. That's the replay. I brought the safety car out, I think, in the beginning, because it's right in the middle of the pit lane as well. But here we go, everyone. We're back now in actual live racing. We're now leading them around.
Unfortunately, the two cars that are hopefully they can get a fast change basically and get back to the tail of the field. And I just hope that the rest of the field gets to get back there, regain their composure. And remember that it was a 30-minute race, but now it'll be a 25-minute race. So they got 25 minutes to make the moves. So they got the time. They just got to be patient and eke it out lap after lap after lap, and just strategize themselves and make their moves slowly up the field if they have the pace. So yeah, we're still on the safety car. I got disconnected for a bit. Unfortunately, I had to reset everything. But yeah, I'm here now. And and we're back. We're on the safety car. We're just waiting for. I think the safety car is going to be out for one more lap. And you
looks
see
like it, Arman. Yep.
You can see. I think the safety car lights are off.
Yep, the safety car lights are off, so he's going to peel back in, and this is going to give Sai Sanjay, if he can do it right first time out that he did, is going to give him a great little exit down in the first corner. But right now he's got Ankit Roy and Sohel Shah to contend with it. Ankit Roy hasn't been in the pointy end of the field for a while, Arman.
He did show flashes yesterday. I think he's also had time to put some laps in and get things going at Oldham Park, and it's great to see him up at the sharp end as well. Let's hope he can get a result.
I mean, yeah, we definitely hope he can get that result that we've always been wanting to see, if we can get him there in the sharp end. But down in the GT3 class, Aditya Iyer now is going to lead these guys away. Aditya Ayar with Ghanshyam Tiwari behind them, and Sabarna Majumdar, then our championship leader, is now who's separated by 7 points now between these guys. There's nothing in it. Aditya Ayar and Sabarna Majumdar at the moment. Aditya Ayar, at this present time, is going to probably, if you have a live championship right now, will be in the lead of the championship, Arman.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll just have to see what happens at the end of the race, Anjan. It's too early to call. It's too early to say what's going to happen. There's so much drama that's going on. Let's just wait for the safety car to pull in and see how they get going with the first racing lap. Here we've got a beautiful view right now, with the heli view that our production team has put us on. You can see the outfield as well. Typical northern England, where the track is located.
The countryside, basically.
Yeah.
The countryside.
Yeah. It's fabulous. I mean, it's in this pocket. You have the circuit, and I remember I first drove there back in 2006, and it was my first time driving in the UK. And the first circuit I went to in February was Oldham Park. I landed and they drove me straight up there, and it was freezing. It was, I think, minus 1 or 2 degrees, and it was crazy. It was my first time, driving in those conditions, and the first time it was a new car, a new circuit, and such challenging conditions. But it was so enjoyable once you got the temperatures up. This circuit is amazing to drive on once you get the.
These were the single seaters one day.
Of course, the former Renaults basically.
Yeah.
But they were absolutely amazing. But in those conditions, it took you 6 or 7 laps to get the heat in to a nominal amount, to get the flow going. And it was crazy because by then your hands and your legs are frozen in the car, so you had to compete anyway to get them heated up to temperature.
That's a beauty of it, because the safety car is still out here at this point in time. And these guys now do get a chance now to experience that in real life if they do figure out where they finish up in the championship, because the winners do get a chance now to train with you, and also a weekend in the Formula LGB categories.
Yep. So as you can see now, that's exactly right, Anjan, and that's what we want, right? To convert them from virtual to reality. And what's happening now is Sai is just bunching everyone up. Because the safety car lights off, which means that the safety car is going to go into the pits. So Sai is just meticulously just bunching everyone so he can get that run down the main straight and try and open a gap as much as he can. I'll have to apologize to you guys. I mean, I think we're having a problem with Discord. So what this is because of the scenario that we're in, where each one of us is at our respective homes, and we have to rely on technology, which is not playing fair today. So things keep happening, but that's what it is. But we keep pressing on, and it looks like it's Sai Sanjay in the lead with Soul Shah in second. So Ritesh Rai in third. Ritesh Rai has made himself up. He's got himself up to third today in the Ferrari. That's a really good first lap. I wonder what happened to Ankit Roy there.
Get disconnected on Discord. I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what's happening today. But yeah, as we're back now, we still got about 20 minutes of racing to go. Pit stop is definitely mandatory at some point in here. So these guys will be putting a quick damage. They got damage. They can fix this. And right now we're following Ahmed's good and Sai started now battling very, very hard. Ahmed's trying to go around the outside. He does make that move very, very well done. While Ahmed had the speed as he went down, blasting past down that straight. Now is on the attack and has Aditya Ayar in his sights ahead of him. And right now, Arman, Sai Sanjay in the lead. A good 3.5 seconds ahead of Sohail Shah. So Sohail Shah making up some, like we've always called it, like he doesn't qualify very well, but he always comes back very strong during the race.
Oh, definitely. Which is why I told you, the gap might be big in qualifying, but the race just throws so much of, unthinkable drama. Like you see the Porsche of Ankit Roy just going wide there and cutting through the grass.
I think it's a replay. Yep.
Yeah, so that gives a lot of position to people like Solskjaer and Ritesh Rai, who's made a lot of places as well. He's come to the top 3. That's somewhere that unfortunately he hasn't found himself there of late. But Amit is definitely on charge. He's made himself back to the top 5 now, and he's closing in. So maybe
Subarno Majumdar.
Did Subarno just win there?
Yeah, Subarno. That is Subarno Majumdar, who's gone off the track there in the spin in the GT3 class. Our leader in the GT3 championship right now has had a spin and gone off, and that is very odd to see him make those mistakes there, Arman.
Oh, definitely, Anjan. I mean, I couldn't see exactly what happened, but it looks like he's just lost it and gone off. And let's hope that he gets a faster repair done, and hopefully he can make it back in due course of the race to try and collect as many points as he can. Let's see where his championship rivals are in the meantime.
Yeah, but these two championship rivals are always going to be battling with each other because Subarno Majumdar, nothing here between these two guys. 7 points in it with Rohit Raut as well in there as well, battling it out. But these guys, Arman, today, we saw with Okayama, this track a lot like Okayama, where you can't make too many mistakes because there is technically no runoff area to get into, or you're pretty much in the grass, grabbed by the wall.
Anjan, trust me, this is worse than Okayama. It's a lot more narrower and it's a lot faster. There's a lot more high-speed corners and a lot more undulations. So it is a more challenging track to have to drive on. But we wanted that, right? We wanted that to be the final race as well. We give these guys a hard time because they gotta be pushed to the limits, right? And I mean, you could see them like just eking close to the tire barriers and using every inch of the circuit there. But the minute they go a little more, a little too deep in, it's really unforgivable.
And that's why, I mean, like you called it, if they go a little too deep, where it's unforgivable, there's absolutely no room to make mistakes right now. And that's why we see guys like Solskjaer, Sai Sanjay up ahead who are very consistent in the race. Always got great racecraft throughout, maintaining that first and second as they are. Ritesh Roy, great showing by him up in third place. Ankit on lost ground right now. We're riding on board with him, right on the heel of Pradesh of Ankit Roy right now. Don't make a move, just on board, looking a little too far away. One tire right now, Prakash, and they do big one. Right now, looking very, very racy amongst themselves because Subarno Majumdar is now all the way down behind Dylan Zakaria now. 5th place in the GT3 class. That's not good news for him if Aya is leading and he's all the way back down there now.
Yeah, we saw the gap in the championship wasn't too big, so he needs to try and claw his way back and try and make it at least in the top 4, top 3, I'd say. Because remember, there's an extra point for fastest lap as well, so it's all to play for right now.
He's still got about a good 8 seconds behind. He's got about a little more, about 8 seconds on. Catch up. That spins cost him a huge amount of time in this crucial race because this just might cost him that championship. And Aya hot on his heels now, leading the pack as we go through this brilliant Alton Park circuit. And we're riding on board now with Amit Kuti, who has made short work of Ankit Roy there and now up in the 4th place. And now he's got up the road Ritesh Rai to contend with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Amit's just fighting through, trying to make up for lost time, and I think obviously I don't think he's going to be able to catch the leader or maybe even the top 2, but at least he might. I mean, I don't know. He might have a chance of getting on the podium at least and trying to salvage some points. But right now the championship is looking very good for Sai Sanjay. I don't want to curse it. I don't want to put him up.
Don't, let's not, because every single time we did over the last 2 days, it hasn't turned out.
But the way it looks right now, it's looking quite good there.
I agree with you, man. It does look very, very good for Sai Sanjay at this point in time, but let's not say much. It's still a long way to go in this race. But only at the halfway point, we still got another 15 minutes of racing to go. So there is everything to play for. Plus, these mandatory pit stops with the gap in front now of over 4 seconds now. So he's got a comfortable gap ahead of Solskjaer. But right now, who's it? The replay of Surya Prakash. The replay of who's that? Sai Saran there. That's a replay of Sai Saran who's just gone off and parked it on the side. Has he run out of fuel? I wonder what's happened because Sai Saran has pretty much parked up on the side, and I think he's done for the day. And that's his race because he's now going to drop off our timing screens. But Surya Prakash now, 2nd place, 6 seconds behind the GT3 Altair. Impressive drive from him, Arman. Look like he's been burning the midnight oil.
He definitely has been burning the midnight oil. He was also on track today at 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time when I was awake. and we were looking at some onboards with that. So I know he's been putting a lot of time in. But it's showing, you know, hard work does pay off, right? And miles. Time and again, one lap after another, you keep learning more. Every corner you go into, someone's running wide there. Is that Soul running wide?
Is that Solskjaer? That is Solskjaer. That black and purple Solskjaer running very wide. Solskjaer, unfortunate, but he has enough of a gap behind him. There's a big enough cushion, Arman. That gap is not going to cost him, and has actually cost him 2 places. In fact, I thought he had enough of a gap, but that looks like he's made a much bigger mistake than the replay showed us, because right now Ritesh Rai is up in the second place, and Amit Kuchi now in third, and Solskjaer dropping back in the fourth place. A good 15 seconds now.
What you also haven't noticed is that Amit and Soul have all made their pit stops. You know, so they have made their pit stops, and so Ritesh is about 16 seconds, if I'm not wrong, 19 seconds, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure I'm able to see it clearly because my screen's a bit blurred.
He's about 16 seconds now behind Sai Sanjay. Yeah.
He's 16 seconds ahead of Amit, and this pit lane is not a very long one. So the next 2 laps are important to see whether he's able to come out of that pit stop ahead of Amit, or is he going to be right on his clutches,
Well, I think this is the match for Sai Sanjay, because Amit Kuchi now is closing up very quickly on Ritesh Rai. We're all bored now. So far now, Bajandar, our category, well, he's right now in third place in that GT3 category, making up for some lost time, and now hounding Dylan Zakaria for that second place. But I think Dylan and Surya have made the mistake. Sabarno, I don't think has made a pit stop yet on the leaderboard. I haven't seen that yet come up. But right now, you can see more gearbox in Dylan Zakaria. And make that car as wide as possible as they go in that quick right and left hander here, Arman. But he does make that car as wide as possible in that chicane, making it stick there. But right now, if you look at it now, Arman,
and Anjan, while you're
he's in second place. Yeah,
Amit has made
I'm just going to say, yeah,
and he's gone to second.
So he's now got 17 seconds now to claw back in the next 17 minutes, second the lap. He's got to put on Sai Sanjay. I wonder, has Sai Sanjay pitted yet?
No, he hasn't. So we'll have to see how long this pit stop takes, and how much time.
This is going to be. I think we're in for a little bit of a treat towards the end of this race, because this is going to close up very, very quickly on here. Because we're going to definitely with about 18 seconds and out in Sai Sanjay, Amit Kuchi, say 15 seconds and out in the pit lane. He's going to have 3 seconds to make up, but he will come out on fresher tires.
Definitely. He will just come. They're not going to change tires. They're just going to refuel, Anjan. In a 30-minute race, they're not going to change tires and waste time in the pit stop. You know, they found that during the course of these last 4 rounds. Here we see we got Sabarno Majumdar in the pits. So let's see what happens where he comes out after his pit stop.
Well, exactly, because Sabarno right now was 4th in that GT3 class at the moment, but he's a championship leader by 7 points. But right now, Dylan, who hasn't made a pit stop, is in first place, but Surya Prakash with 2 pit stops has still managed to hold on to second, and 5 seconds now behind Dylan. So when Dylan does pit, Surya will inherit that GT3 lead, Arman.
But right behind him, within a second behind him, you can see Aditya just closing, and he's been making heaps and bounds of time. You know, a couple of laps ago, he was more than about 3 seconds behind him, but he's just catching him, reeling him in. So, you know, if Surya is sensible, since, you know, Aditya has so much more pace, he would let him go and just try and follow him through and just keep with him for that podium.
Absolutely. I mean, let's just see, because that would be great to see Surya Prakash back up on the podium here on his debut championship rather at UltimateE. But after I now looks like he's making great ground on Surya Prakash. You can see he's trying to make that outside line, the inside line, and he makes that car beautifully stick. The tankers are on go.
What Aditya did is being very respectful to, you know, the GTE class coming through, the tier 1 cars coming through, and just stayed well out of the way. Full props there, very respectful driving and making sure that the leader does not get hampered. Also, not losing too much to Surya, who's in front of him.
Absolutely, because Surya right now looks like he's putting in some quick laps right now, Arman, because I think he has putting a 153 to 133. Something doesn't seem right. I think he has gone to the pits at that point in time. But we'll see when he does come back out, because right now, 10 minutes to go to the lead. There's a replay right now. Is that a replay of Soul Shah? Replay of Soul Shah losing all that time. I think that's what we're going to see. Soul Shah just going to get it. Oh, Messel gets it all wrong to the grass, but lost huge amounts of time, Arman, on that little bit of a mistake.
Definitely. I mean, uncharacteristic of Soul really to make so many mistakes. So I don't know what's going on there, but let's hope he gets his rhythm back. But he's coming back to the fight that's actually going on for the championships. Here you've got in GT3, you've got So Barno finished his pit stops now, and now he's chasing down Ghanshyam Tiwari, Gokul Tiwari, as he's known in the game basically, and he's right behind him, but he's got far more superior pace, so he should make quick work of him going turn 1, I guess, which is a third gear, quick medium right-hander. He might be able to get on the outside. Let's see if he's going to take the risk. No, he's going to be safe. Thinking about that championship again, having the championship in mind and playing the long game.
Yeah, this is all about the long game right now, but the long game right now is only 9 minutes long, Arman, towards the end of it right now. That's pretty much a sprint to the end right now we've got, because Sabarno now has to throw everything at this, because as it stands, UltimateE seems like he will take this championship win, because Sabarno has a lot of ground to make up. But right now, on the tail of Gokul Tiwari, he's been quicker than Gokul Tiwari all weekend long. Ghanshyam putting in some beautiful lines, defending as wide as possible in that corner. But Subarna now, Arman, I think he's got a lot of work to do on his hands, and it's going to take a lot to claw back those positions.
It definitely is. I think he needs to finish second to seal the deal, really, as they say. But like you said, it's less than 9 minutes to go, so there's a lot of work to be done. Whereas, I mean, let's see what's happening. He's going on the inside.
Oh, and Ghanshyam's not making it easy.
He's got a good drive. He's got a good drive now. He's going to go back. The next corner is again a right-hander.
He's just holding back there. I think he's waiting for that start. Because like you said, Arman, Ghanshyam's gone wide. He's gone wide.
Under pressure, yeah.
Under pressure, Ghanshyam making that mistake and putting the car in the gravel trap. That's given Subarna now a place that he desperately needed, third right now in the GT3 class, with Surya Prakash leading UltimateE now. He's dropped off Surya Prakash's tail about 2.1 seconds now behind Surya. So he's got a little bit of work to do there. And Sabarna Majumdar in third with Rohit Raut in fourth, Gokul Tiwari in fifth, and Avinash Gupta in 6th place, and Dylan Zachary is down in 7th place now. So Dylan,
because Anjan, as it stands right now, if they finish 2 and 3, Sabarno still takes the championship.
Yep, as they do. Yep, absolutely, he does. He will take that. That 7-point lead is enough of a cushion for him to take that championship right now. But Arman, it's not over until that checkered flag drops. So let's not say much at this point in time. Is that UltimateE in the pits? That is UltimateE in the pits. So I wonder what happened to UltimateE there. He's gone straight in the pit lane because he did make a pit stop, and this is the second one. So fuel now coming into massive play here, Arman.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on. I mean, was there a penalty, or was there excess of did he cut a corner, or did he do something where he ran out of penalty points where he had to pit? We'll know after the race, but for now we know that he's gone to the pits and he's probably going to come out. Oh, but he's come out in front of Sabarno.
He will, because he come out ahead of Sabarno because he did have a rather comfortable lead ahead of him over 1.1 over a minute on Sabarno at that point in time. So UltimateE looks like he's come out with that. He's now played really nicely into Surya's hands, because we were talking about a podium a couple of minutes ago, but now we can actually talk about a race win for Surya, because he's got 30 seconds of a buffer between him and UltimateE now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the timing screens are also getting warped, just trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, I mean, Surya's got a very comfortable gap. He's just got to focus and take a deep breath and just get into a rhythm, really, and to close this deal. But it's going to be really interesting to see what happens between UltimateE and Sabarno. So that's going to be a fight to the end, and we see
who is that? Is Sai Sanjay? That is Sai Sanjay. Oh wow, that is a massive crash.
And he's lost it, and he's at big damage trying to go past his back marker. Hopefully he gets in the pits and gets that quick return gun. Oh, but this is the problem with the back marker.
That
You
was
got to
just
be
the
so
sky
careful.
in the earth. The sky in the earth, the scary looking crash there. For Sai Sanjay, who's now coming in the pit lane. That is Amit Kuti in the pits, yes. That is Amit Kuti. Ritesh Rai in the Ferrari now in the GTE class, leading this pack. So I wonder, this track is draining a lot more fuel than these guys anticipated in the beginning.
And Anjan, you've got Sohail Shah in second place.
Yep, he's back there at it, as isn't he? 11 seconds to the lead, but Sohail Shah, I wonder if he's got enough fuel, Arman, to take it towards the end. He's only stopped once, and Ritesh Rai has not stopped yet. So we're still looking for him to stop, because he's got a mandatory pit stop. So at some point he will stop, which means Sohail Shah will then inherit that lead, because it's going to cost him about 11 to 14 seconds in that pit lane.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ritesh hasn't pitted yet. And I wonder what's going on, but yeah, he hasn't pitted. He's in the lead now. You look at Sai and Amit both again together. Can't get rid of one another. And
Absolutely.
looks like once Ritesh pits, looks like Sohail's going to lead there.
Yep. And I wonder if it's just something, if it's a little glitch on our timing screens right now, but with about 4 minutes of racing to go, once again, Arman, this is towards the last stages of this race where we're going to have a battle on our hands right now, because our race, our leader, Sai Sanjay, our championship leader, Sai Sanjay, and second place, Amit Kuchi, now fighting with each other. They've got a whole bunch of back markers to contend with. Ooh, is that roll through, keeping out of the way? Yes, nicely done. Keeping out of the way from these two guys. And these two guys, Amit Kuti now, it looks like he's going to dive around the outside. He's trying to make that car, make it stick to the two tanks, as the man calls them, the BMWs, the GTEs, the beautiful looking cars, but just not enough. Just not, there we go. So race director telling us
Ritesh dropping down now to 4th.
And Sai Sanjay and Amit Kuti, then that's a new podium.
Yeah, we got Sai and Amit in 2nd and 3rd fighting it out. Let's see what happens here. This battle looks like it's going to go right to the end.
Yeah, because Amit Kuti definitely wants to win on track, because as it stands right now, Sai Sanjay will win this championship at this point in time, Arman, because he's going to pull enough of the lead ahead of them. He's got about 20 points between him and Amit Kuti right now, and this is just not enough. Amit Kuti needs to get ahead of Sai Sanjay and maybe the win as well, to take as many points as he can out of him and the fastest lap. But as it's looking right now, it's looking very, very good for Sai Sanjay, who's made rather unusual mistakes this time out. All these guys we've seen, and this time Amit Kuti has been very clean through the race, where he's made a couple of mistakes the last couple of days, but people like Sai Sanjay and Sohail Shah that we saw super consistent over the last couple of days, making those mistakes today, Arman.
It's not only mistakes, Arjun. It's also, when you're getting past traffic, sometimes just wrong place, wrong time, and these incidents happen. Which is why we put the fast repair on. So it kind of evens things out. You look at Amit running wide there, all over the edge. These guys are pushing really hard. And trying to just force one another into a mistake. Really, let's just hope that while doing so, they don't lose it. Really.
I mean, if they do, it's going to be disastrous if they do lose, and I hope they don't, because this is a great battle towards the last 2 minutes, and Sai Sanjay as well, putting in the fastest lap, 125.4. Brilliant little lap by Sai Sanjay and Amit Kuti, 125.5. Nothing in it between the two of them at the moment as they go around the Sultan Park circuit. Maybe the last once or twice, and Amit Kuti is trying to put a huge amount of pressure on Sai Sanjay like he did earlier. In this race, and hopefully Sai Sanjay makes a mistake.
These guys are flying through and they're closing in on Sohail, but it's not going to be enough because we've only got a minute and a half left. But they're making a second lap on Sohail, and you can see Sohail up ahead. You can see the Porsche up ahead just in the distance.
Oh, that was so close. That was the back marker they were going past, and almost. Oh, is that Sai Sanjay who's made that mistake? He has. Sai Sanjay has made that mistake, and that's going to cost him a lot of time right now, because Ritesh Rai just might have an opportunity now to get. There we go. There's Red Ferrari of Ritesh Rai in the back. 1 second now of Sai Sanjay. Arman, this has just blown everything wide open again.
It definitely has. I mean, Sai just had to finish where he was to just close that championship, and just be on the throttle, going to the chicane, in between the right and the left, getting on the throttle. I think he got distracted by the back marker, so he enters the chicane a little too hard, gets to the throttle, touches the grass, and just gets spun around. Completely loses. I think that back marker did. We were just talking about how these guys have been so consistent throughout, but Sohail Shah now, brilliant little drive by Sohail Shah. About 20 seconds of this race left. This should ideally be his last lap at this point in time. That beautiful black and purple Porsche GTE car driven by Sohail Shah at this point in time looks very, very good to take that race win, as long as he gets past his back marker, doesn't get his lines mixed up, and doesn't get into the back marker doesn't get into a little battle with him, because 2.5 seconds behind him and closing it very, very fast is Amit Kuti as well. There you can see him just on the top of your screens there. But Sohail Shah now looks like he's going to come across the finish line. There we go. The last time they go around this chicane, the left, right. We've seen so much action throughout this evening. And Sohail Shah, I hope he now comes across the line to take it. If he's going to have one more lap, Amit Kuti is now driving the wheels off that BMW and taking a 10th off pretty much every single corner. You can see him there. He's closing it as much as he can. And Sohail Shah now just has to keep that Porsche on those 4 wheels on the black stuff. Keep that pace, control it as you can, and there you might just have a Sohail Shah win.
is another finish line. Hopefully, here we go. And ultimately, and if you look at down below him, Ahmed Kuti, yeah, Ahmed Kuti, nothing in it between Ahmed Kuti Sosa, Sai Sanjay there, third place, but there in the GT3 class, Prakash takes the win today at ultimately. A good day for the boys at ultimately and M Sports Battle of the Stars. Brilliant racing by both those guys. Altya Iyer takes second place in the GT3 class, and Sabarno Majumdar takes third place then in the GT3 class.
He hasn't taken it yet, so just waiting for him to cross the line. And once he crosses it, we're following him now. If he crosses that, then he'll be the champion for Tier 2.
We're just waiting for him to come across because the Tier 2 champion will get a weekend with the X30 karting championships. Brilliant to see them as well. Sorry, the academy. The academy. Sorry, I remember the racing academy. We'll get a weekend at the racing academy trained by you. But there we go. Sabarna Majumdar wins the GT3 championship. A great drive by him over the last 4 days. Some new talent that we've seen all through the series here, Arman and UltimateE, and some super driving. Today has been one of the most exciting races we've had over the last 4 days here at UltimateE.
Today's been stressful on so many other levels, Anjan, because of all the difficulties we've had with in terms of just the technological part of things, with with the internet going off and whatnot. But we made it through, and we've had a great race. I hope everyone at home has enjoyed watching it. Hope the drivers thoroughly enjoyed it. There were so many ups and downs. It's such a roller coaster. But wow, we've had a super championship, and what a race to conclude these last 4 days.
Absolutely, and every single time, in the last 2 seconds, always, or last 2 minutes rather, always throws up for sadness. We've also got with us, I think, Surya Prakash, our GT3 winner today. We're going to bring him quickly into the comm box. And Soul Shah as well, who's here with us. So let's just finish up with Soul Shah. He's here with us. Soul, congratulations, it's a win today. Feels good, doesn't it?
Definitely. It's been a while since I've won a race on UltimateE, and it's just back. It's good to be on the top step now.
So it wasn't so cut and clean. I mean, we saw a bunch of mistakes. You'd gone off. And there was on the right hander you went off. Then you went off the chicane while you were in the second, and then you lost out. You went back. I don't think you thought you were going to win, and the next thing you know, both the leaders have dropped off again, and you found yourself in the lead. I mean, what was going through at the time?
No, so the moment I made the mistakes, I just came across with an idea to maybe when I pit, because we had such a long safety car, I decided not to refuel at all, and just go in the pits, fix up my car, go in the pit stop, fix up the car, and then come out. So I think it was because of with the fast repair was I think a 3-second stop, which actually helped me a lot. And with that, I came out with around almost 10 seconds ahead of Sai. And I was actually running engine map 6 throughout the race after the pit stop just to make sure I make it to the end. And if you watch the onboard replay with some sound, you'll see the moment I cross the line, I'm out of fuel.
Well done, sir. It was a great showing by you today, man. But we hope to see you back again in a couple of weeks' time, battling with the Kutis, the Sanjays, the Rais, the Roys, the Prithvis, and Sarans.
Definitely. I'll be here.
Yes.
Great job, guys. Great job. Congratulations.
I think we've also got Surya Prakash now, who's here. Surya Prakash, who's also here, GT3 winner. Surya, what a brilliant drive by you today to take the win in the GT3 class. Another first for us at UltimateE.
Yeah. It was crazy. Again, like yesterday, I binned it in the first lap. And somehow was able to push really well, and then thanks to the safety car I was able to bunch up. We were able to bunch up, and I think I just had a really good feel on the brakes, so some decent overtakes, decent pace, and fueling was close towards the end, but nevertheless it was crazy race.
Surya, you were doing sessions soon after the race last night. You were doing sessions at Olton. At 7:30 in the morning, you were doing sessions at Olton. All that hard work has definitely paid off. Are there crackers going off in Coimbatore right now?
I wish it would, but it has definitely paid off for sure. I mean, there's always room for improvement, and yes, the grinding has helped indeed, for sure.
Good stuff. Congratulations.
Good stuff, man. Brilliant showing. Great to see you back up there after some super performances yesterday. Back up now on the top step. Well deserved.
Thank you.
And then I think we had Altya Iyer in second place, Sabarno Majumdar, who finished up on the podium once again is our race championship winner in the G3 class. Then Rohit Raj, Gokul Tiwari, Avinash Gupta, Dylan Zachariah, Harsh T, and Akunuri Abhilash. Well, Arban, I think it's been a great little showing over the last 4 days. We're taking these guys from sim world to the real world, and there's been so much going on up and down the order. I can't wait to see guys like Amit Kuti, Sai, Sabarno, Majumdar, Radha, Iyer all out in real cars now.
Oh, definitely. I'm so excited to put them in and look what happens, basically. So, full props there. And, these guys, I think, are going to have a great time with the tier 1 guys getting to race and, the FLGB 1300 in the 1300 class in the Meco Motorsports Formula Junior Series and in the X30 National Karting Championship, making their debuts there. I'll be there to train them. I think a lot of guys, I think people like Soul and Sayu here will be able to train them as well. And then for the tier 2 guys, get the transition into cars and karts and with the academy and teach them the basics. I think this is going to open a lot of doors and create a lot of interest with, it just makes motorsport more. We're just trying to make motorsport accessible, and that's the key to getting new talent in.
Absolutely. I think that's great to see, and it's brilliant to see you guys take an initiative here with UltimateE and esports Battle of the Stars. And I hope you guys have had an exciting 4 days because we've enjoyed it thoroughly over the last 4 days, seeing these guys go from the sim world to the real world, and from the entire UltimateE team, from modern back and
thank you.
We will
Close.